Thursday morning, everyone. Welcome to AMHQ Early. I'm meteorologist Jen Carfagno. I'm sure a lot of you have not slept all night long between the thunder and the winds, the very strong winds, the rain and the snow, everything out there today. From the Midwest to the east to the south, we've got a lot going on, and we are going to start with what's happening with the wintry side of the morning. That's just crazy, right? So that's what we're dealing with here as we get you into the Northeast. We'll look for big changes coming into your forecast through the weekend. More on that coming up. Elsewhere across the country, Anna Rittis is tracking the latest.
We continue to give you updates on what's happened in the Mid-Atlantic. We begin our coast-to-coast weather headlines.
And is actually one of the most sort of tree, what's the word? They had the most trees of any other metro city in the Atlantic, heavily forested. Thank you, Lisa. In the big metro area. So yeah, that is a real danger when you have strong winds and a lot of rain like you've seen in the Atlanta area. Thankfully, things are drying out. Still a bit breezy through the south, but not as windy today. 41 degrees in Atlanta right now. Feels a lot colder, and that's going to be the case throughout the day today. There will be at least a breeze. It's not going to completely calm down. Take a look at what we're dealing with today. Temperature-wise, going to 51 in Atlanta. That is below average. In fact, everyone pretty much below average throughout the region. However, with the breeze and the wind out there today, you're going to knock a couple of degrees off that temperature. Charlotte for us. What a day yesterday with the storms in the area, especially in the central and eastern part of North Carolina. Today, temperatures are going to be below average. We'll go to 55 degrees, which is not that far below average, actually. And that's where we'll stay for the rest of the week into the early part of the weekend. And then we've got a nice warming trend coming our way. So this is what you can look forward to. Temperatures back to the 60s and nearly 70 by next week. That's the trend as well for Atlanta. Temperatures warming up by the tail end of the weekend, and that continues into next week. So a little taste of the chill this morning, but then there is a nice warming trend coming our way, Anna Rittis. We have got your forecast looking ahead to the weekend in view. We finally kick out the storm system today. We'll see that move on out as the thunderstorms move out of Maine by later on today. The snow continues to taper off by later today. A little bit of snow left tomorrow in the higher terrain of western Pennsylvania and down into the Appalachians of Virginia and West Virginia. Then we get to Saturday, and we got a lot of sunshine in the east. It looks great. The place to watch for some active weather starts in the northwest on Friday, moves into the Intermountain West. We're going to see a little new snow way up in elevation there as we get you into Saturday. Sunday, our next system dives down a little farther south into the northwest. We still can't get much rain into San Francisco, but at least we'll get a little bit more into northern California. Meanwhile, a weak storm system starts to make its way into the upper Midwest on Sunday. Also says
it may be 5 a.m., but it's never too early or late for peak set.
That is actually so true, and I wonder if they ran out of pepperoni, if they had it all covered. All right, travel delays were just a mess yesterday. Yep. Unfortunately, that's going to be the thing still today. Not as bad as yesterday, but we still got a lot of weather issues out there.
So we show you Chicago live this morning. You're waking up to 34 degrees. This was Chicago O'Hare Airport yesterday. Close to 1,000 flights canceled because of the snow, and we do have still some icy spots this morning from Bloomington down to Champaign, some roads that, you know. But he was in Michigan.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, so maybe he did bring it. He is back today later on this hour.
Yeah.
If you're counting the days or the hours until spring comes, Jen's got you. She wrote it down in
my hand, right? So we've got 6 days until meteorological spring, 16 days until we change the time, turn back,
which means you lose an hour of sleep.
Right. But a lot of people think, that is spring. 23 days until real spring, astronomical spring.
And that means the sun stays out longer, right?
Yes. And so already you're actually seeing that amount of daylight increase every day with that sun setting later. I'm sure you noticed it. I notice it. But we're still in winter mode here, and we still have the snow to talk about. Today we're going to see the winds change direction, blowing in from the northwest, and that's going to give us a little help from the lakes. This is not a huge lake effect event, but lake enhancement, yes, into parts of Ohio, maybe even northwestern Pennsylvania. Right now, we've got some snow still coming down, especially here near the Lansing area. This is one spot here we're watching the snow as the heaviest. See that darker blue right there? That actually enhancement goes all the way down towards the Fort Wayne area. So that's where the snow is falling heavily, and the winds are still blowing it around. Yesterday, there were so many reports of folks stranded on the roads in Illinois, in Indiana. Don't let that happen to you. If you can avoid travel, do it, because I'm going to time out when this moves out of here. We have some snow down through Cincinnati and Columbus right now. Some heavier snow at times that will accumulate down here, so be ready for those roads to be slick. I-81, some snow falling. It's light, but still snowflakes falling nonetheless. All right, so let's forecast this out. We do watch the snow this morning from Michigan into Indiana, Ohio as well. Chicago, it was such an interesting story about your snowfall. The forecast was really spot on with not a lot, if anything, to the west of town and in Indiana we had nearly a foot of snow there. So that's going to wrap up through today. And then we watch your forecast with snow showers still flying in those northwest winds right through the afternoon. This is the 8 o'clock tonight. You'll see the snow once you get some help from the elevation. Snowshoe, West Virginia. This is a great forecast for you. If you're a skier, you're loving that forecast. And then we'll see some of that all the way down to North Carolina mountains as well, tapering off by tomorrow morning. How much additional snow will we get? Well, another 1 to 3 inches across lower Michigan into parts of Ohio. If you have some help from the elevation or the lakes, you'll get a little bit more there. So that's the snowy side of things that we're talking about. Snowfall through tonight, and then wrapping up really by tomorrow morning. We'll be done with the snow, and then we'll get a bit of a break for the weekend snow-wise. The rain and the wind and the thunderstorms, Anna Rittes, have been tremendous. And you said some friends with crazy weather this morning.
Yeah, in Worcester, she said that